Yeah, eat, sleep, fantasy, you rockin' with the best. NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. We talking mock drafts, running backs, better follow the conversation.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Eat, Sleep, Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Dale. Joining me, as always, is my best friend, Clayton Cadu. I'm really happy we're getting to record today. We had some technical difficulties with our Fantrax mock draft, but we're at it today.
Yeah, we're going to get this thing figured out here, hopefully by Monday. I usually like to do, like we talked about, we usually like to break down mocks as it's actually happening rather than, a few days later. But, we're getting at it.
It's a preseason,
I'll say, yeah, exactly. It's preseason. We're just
getting into
training
camp. Yeah.
Exactly.
No
we're
pads,
getting
we're
into
not wearing pads. So anyways, yeah, guys, we did a Fantrax mock draft earlier this week. If you guys want in on it, the best bet to get in is to join our Eat Nation private group on Facebook, because I always post there first, let people join, and then I'll throw it on Twitter if we don't get enough. We've been getting enough just off our private group on Facebook. So make sure you join there, or just follow us anywhere on social media at Eat Sleep FF on Twitter. Really quick before we start, we chose Fantrax because, one, they're a great partner of ours for the season. We appreciate them. And two, they're just a great platform. If you guys are looking for a solid platform, if you're looking for something new outside of the big guys, quote unquote, Fantrax is the way to go, because they're totally customizable, easy to use. And if you don't want to go super customizable, like some of my leagues aren't, they're pretty standard. You just use you can just set the default settings and everybody's happy. So make sure you head over to fantrax.com. We are hosting a huge best ball tournament on Fantrax. And if anybody beats me or Clayton, you guys are in the drawing for, I think we have 6 signed jerseys. I'll have all the details in the podcast description here, all the links that you need to set up. It's completely free. No strings attached. It might sound like spam because we're giving out so much. It's easy to sound like spam when you're just giving away. People are always skeptical.
Yeah, it's definitely,
yeah.
There's a catch.
Yeah. We have Joe Montana jersey, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper,
Willie McGinnis.
Yeah, and one more. Calvin Ridley. All signed jerseys, full
and
size.
And we don't need your credit card info or your social insurance. Well, it's social. Is that what it's called in the States?
Social security number. Yeah.
Social security number. Sorry.
Yeah. Jeez.
Ours is social insurance, buddy. Here. See, this is what happens when you cross the border and have a guy from.
What's your social insurance number?
I am not telling you that.
What's the worst that can happen?
What's weird is it just me? Okay, so I lost my social insurance. So somebody probably has my number, but anyways, I lost it back in like high school. I think I lost this thing, right? Never got it replaced, but that's one number I always can remember.
Yeah. It took me a
weird.
while.
Yeah,
it took me a while, but I know that. Do you know your wife's? I know my wife's.
No. You know your wife. That's impressive.
Yeah, thanks. And I have a really bad memory, and it really surprises me. And people like, whoa, you know your wife's. Like when I go to the doctor or something, and I have to tell them, they're like, oh, okay.
I sometimes kind of wish people did steal my identity, just so then, when they come track me down, I could be like, man, this guy charged all this debt to me and everything like that, and just erase it all. Please and thank you. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Hey, I didn't go to Best Buy and get all these TVs.
Yeah, I bought this house cash, man. I bought it cash, but yet there's a mortgage on for some reason. Like, come on.
That's funny. Anyways, yeah, so this is going to be if you guys haven't heard Eat Sleep Fantasy, thank you for listening for the first time. I know we're having a lot of first-time people. We are going to get into fantasy talk, but we try to bring a little bit of fun to fantasy football, a little bit more than we're not going to be like, and this guy had 5 receptions, 112 yards, and 1 touchdown. Like, we're not that type of podcast, so you're not going to get that.
Wait till the ideas I have come the start of the season, buddy.
Oh yeah, no, I have tons of ideas.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
By the way,
you will not hear any episodes like we're going to be putting out from any other podcast. So stick with us, you'll love it.
I started watching Wall Street on HBO. It is Mark Wahlberg's like documentary, like following around. Man, I don't know how anybody cannot like that guy. I love him. I love Mark Wahlberg. I think he's a national treasure. I think it's like him and The Rock are like 1A, 1B. Like if either one of them ran for president, I'm pretty sure I would vote for him. I don't know their political
Rock
affiliations.
would dominate if he was.
Mhm.
Yeah, if he was ran for president, he'd get in.
So anyways, I just need a friend like Mark Wahlberg. Like he wakes up like at 3:30 in the morning and works out and then goes to his meetings and super driven and like all about business. My friends are like, bro, can't we just sleep in and play golf at 11 instead?
Just saying, Dale. I get up at 2:30 and I work out, buddy. So
I need friends like you.
I get up at 2:30, but outside of that, I don't go to no business meetings. I ain't got the bankroll. I don't got the bankroll that he has.
You're my Mark Wahlberg. So call me when you wake up, and then we'll go to the gym, and I'll just put you in my headphones, and we can talk.
Okay, I'll give you a shout.
That'd be cool. You'll be working out and just hear each of us grunting on the other end. Anyways, all right. So let's just get right into Fantrax, this mock draft. Again, I appreciate everybody drafting. I know we had some contributors in this draft as well, and we had some longtime listeners and followers too. So it's a good mix. Clayton, do you want to start it off? And we're going to go basically team by team, and then we're going to break down some of the picks. One thing I'm telling you, when you're drafting this year, and I don't think I just realized it. I definitely didn't just realize it because I've done it in the past, but drafting upside in these mid rounds are really going to pay off this year. I really feel like instead of drafting people, I'm just going to give you instead of taking Antonio Brown or Robbie Anderson, why not go bigger for guys like Zach Moss or James Conner and Jalen Waddle and stuff like that around that round. Don't worry, don't focus too much on ADP. Don't be a slave to the ADPs because it doesn't help anybody. You got to get the guys you want, and you got to go for the upside. When it's guys that are going to be like, oh yeah, he's a for sure 6 points a week. Like you don't want those guys anyways.
Yeah, it's all based on preference, right? That's what it is, and you're going to see a lot of that stuff. Like when we get to my team here, I'm pretty much plain Jane for the most part of it. This is kind of how I've always really drafted. Not much has changed on my end.
All right, so let's just kind of get right into the draft. We had a little technical difficulty with my microphone, so I'm sorry. We're good. Let's just get right into the draft. I'll go through kind of my strategy too. I drafted here. I just do mock drafts just to do things a little differently than I normally do. I don't go until right before I draft. I'll try different things and just see how it looks. It's practice, right? I mean, that's what mock drafts are for. So, Clayton, you want to start off by looking at some teams, and then we could talk about players that you think are good or bad fits for the teams?
Absolutely. We'll go through the first 3 rounds, and then maybe we can talk about players at that point. So we're going to start with a contributor of ours, a newbie to our crew, Heather. She had the 101. She went McCaffrey with her first pick, Darren Waller, and then J.K. Dobbins. All good players. I mean, the McCaffrey you're not going to really complain about. Right. Did kind of shock me that she did take Waller at 2. I mean, if it was a tight end premium league, I could kind of understand, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel as though she could she did get J.K. Dobbins, like I said, in the 3rd, but she also could have had guys like, a better receiver up there. You could have put AJ Brown up there or something like that. I just think the fact that it's not as tight end premium, I do think that maybe she reached a little bit, but both Kittle and Kelsey went at the same time. So, like I said, it's all preference in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Darren Waller, you kind of look at him as getting these wide receiver stats. So, I mean, she missed out if, she got Darren Waller, so she didn't need to reach for a wide receiver really after that. She did get Robert Woods, but then got Darrell Henderson as her 3rd running back, which is great. Her 5th round pick. She nailed it. But before that, I think I'd rather have AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, especially when it's not a tight end premium league, and take my chances on guys like TJ Hawkinson or something later, or even wait later than that. But it's a mock, and her team ended up being pretty decent. I'm still not sold on J.K. Dobbins. People are. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean,
few things scare me a little bit with the fact that I don't know. Talk out of training camp right now too. Is there's starting to chuck the ball a lot more than what they're used to seeing, right? I mean, we know this as a run first offense. So, I mean, you got the carries that not only Lamar Jackson's going to take, but they signed Gus Edwards to a contract again. I do think he's going to be involved. So it's kind of a wait and see approach. I'm the same way as you are, though. I'm skeptical. Do I think he can be elite? 100%. It's just I'm kind of really I'm not optimistic that it's going to be a crazy workload that he's going to get in this offense.
Yep. Fun fact: his name is Jacqueline Dobbins. They call him JK for short.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So, anyways, you never draft a player. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that because I love AJ Brown. I don't know what AJ Brown's real name is. I was gonna say never draft a player where you don't know his real first
initials.
name.
Yeah, but then, like you mentioned, Dale, you went. She went Woods, Henderson. Went with A. Rodgers in the sixth. This pick here, Tyler Boyd, is like one of my favorite picks in later rounds right now, where he's getting drafted behind. I mean, this guy was a stud with Burrows last year. When Burrows was on the field. He was like, I think it was, I can't remember exactly what the numbers were, but he was a top 10 receiver with Burrows on the field. I understand they got Jamar Chase. They have T. Higgins, but I don't know. All of a sudden, you're just going to write off Tyler Boyd, and nobody's giving this guy respect.
Yep.
I love him where she picked him at 7.
Yeah, she got him in the 7th, and she got Laviska Shenault in the 8th, which is great. She did get Tyler Boyd before guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, Cortland Sutton. All Tyler Boyd is superior to any of those guys. So I think she took him at the right point. I mean, right after that, Brandon Cooks and Jarvis Landry were taken. So I think she nailed it out of the park with a 7 and 8, getting Tyler Boyd and Shenault back to back. Michael Thomas went really, really late. I picked him up in the 8th round there after Laviska Shenault, but we'll get there later. But I'm just looking at the different wide receivers picked after Tyler Boyd.
And then even after that, you got AJ Dillon in there. I mean, she's a little bit, she's weaker at running back right now, as far as this team goes. But as far as her wide receivers go, she went AJ Dillon in the 9th, and then Mike Williams, Darnell Mooney came back, got her second quarterback in Baker Mayfield, and then Russell Gage, Blake Jarwin, James White, and then whatever kickers and so on and so forth down there. But you know what? As far my 2 favorite sleepers of this year, and I'm going to get them in almost every league that I can, even if I got to reach a little bit, is both Darnell Mooney and Russell Gage.
I love I feel like she really, and this is what kind of prompted me, is like, go after these high upside guys. Like Mike Williams in round 10 is a steal, I think. And then the sleepers like Darnell Mooney, I know a lot of people are talking about him, Russell Gage in the 13th round. Those guys are such high upside over, Corey Davis, T.Y. Hilton, even McCole Hardman, Devontae Parker. Like those are all wide receivers around that same time. I'd much rather go with these upside guys.
Yeah, and Mooney now with no Anthony Miller there, there's no he's the clear cut number 2 receiver on the Bears. So
right, yeah,
I love that pick. So as far as her team goes, sorry, go ahead.
Mike Williams, Darnell Mooney, and Russell Gage is like her 3rd, 4th, 5th wide receivers. So why not? Why not go for this upside over Antonio Brown and Robbie Anderson?
As far as everything goes in her team in general. Like I mentioned, a little bit weaker at running back outside of, McCaffrey. I mean, Henderson's there, but we're still not sure. And then Dobbins, just not, I would sooner have a guy like Edwards-Helaire there. Mm-hmm. Maybe even Chris Carson. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So as far as receivers go though, man, she killed it. She killed it on receivers. So well done, Heather. Should we jump over to Paulie Walnuts?
Let's do it. He had the 2nd overall pick with Dalvin Cook. Then he got Joe Mixon. Those picks we're not going to go over. AJ Brown in the 3rd round, Tyler Lockett in the 4th. I mean, we're not going to argue too much. I love AJ Brown. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that pretty much every episode. You guys are going to get sick of it. By the way, AJ Brown's real name is Arthur Juan. Interesting. I don't know.
Very interesting.
Juan.
Arthur Juan.
Yeah, Juan. AJ Arthur Juan. So maybe he has some Hispanic genes in him for the Juan.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll read Wikipedia when you're blabbering on later in the episode.
I do like Lockett there in 4th round too. Same kind of similar thing with like we were kind of talking about, no respect for a guy like Tyler Boyd. Tyler Lockett's had over 100 targets in like three of the last 4 years. I think that's going to continue. The fact DK Metcalf, obviously that's the number one, but Lockett's sneaking. I do like him in the 4th round.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. He got Justin Herbert in the 6th round. I think he waited just long enough for Justin Herbert, or he or she. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So overall, Paulie Walnuts did a fairly good job. Anything else stick out to you?
Not really. Just I like how he went back to back with the Buffalo running backs. He took both Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. So in the 9th and 10th round, and then came back with he waited a little bit on tight end, but he still happened to snag Jonnu Smith in the 12th. So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yep. I mean, I always look at where did you get your quarterbacks? What can you have waited for? Justin Herbert in the 6th. Guys he could have waited for, I mean, you get Ryan Tannehill in the 9th if you want Joe Burrow in the 8th. So those are kind of things that you have to really Justin Herbert, I think, is going to be a star. I mean, no issues there. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just interesting to see when people are picking up. Kyler Murray was picked the round before Justin Herbert, just 1 round before. So we'll talk about Matt Scalisi in a little bit. He got Kyler Murray pretty late in the 5th, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, well, let's kick over to your team, Dale. What was your strategy behind all this? And
I've done this in a couple of mocks now. I never, very rarely get any tight ends, even if they're elite early. I took George Kittle in the 2nd round just to see what my team would look like. I was hoping to get AJ Brown in the 3rd because I got Derrick Henry, then George Kittle. And then I was hoping for but then at the same time I have Derrick Henry, so I'm not sure if I want AJ Brown. But luckily AJ Brown didn't fall to me, so I was forced to get Justin Jefferson, which I'm fine with. Myles Gaskin as my RB2, then DJ Moore and T Higgins, my 3rd and 4th wide receivers. I got T Higgins a round before Tyler Boyd was taken, so that's something to note. And I know you're going to hate me taking Melvin Gordon in the 7th round.
But see, that's better than the 5th round. Isn't that where we took him 2 weeks ago?
I think so. Yeah.
Last week. This team overall isn't trash like the first one you drafted that we talked about.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I do like the balance. The balance is pretty good. You went Derrick Henry, like you said, Myles Gaskin as your number 2. I mean, he's the guy in Miami right now, so you can't go wrong with that, getting him in the 4th, and then come back with Gordon in the 7th round as your RB3. Still not sure what the situation is with that, but your receivers are pretty are pretty stacked outside of Michael Thomas now that he's going to be out for a while. I did read that he's probably not going to be back till like double-digit weeks this season.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think we drafted like right when the news broke.
Yeah,
I can get him at a discount.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already a discount because it was quarterback situation, and I was like, 8th round if he's literally my 4th wide receiver.
And then with your last pick, you handcuffed Myles Gaskin with Salvin Ahmed. So that's pretty good deal there. My favorite pick out of this, though, is how late in the 12th round you went and scooped Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
Like, is this guy forgotten about because he had 1 down? His rookie year was not the greatest. Like,
I mean, he was plagued by a couple injuries, right? I think he did play through most of it, but he was, he had a couple weeks off. Yeah, I mean, why not? Guys like, I was actually considering Russell Gage at this point. Just another high upside guy. I think right after in the 13th round, I got Javian Hawkins. That's a player that I'm getting a lot. Again, going for this high upside. You guys are going to hear me talk about it over and over again. I am 100% going rookies and high upside guys over the for sure. Marvin Jones type, John Brown type. Like we know what we're going to get out of them, right?
That's what I was going to say. I listened to a different podcast and I heard that it happened to pop up on my thing after.
Sure. Yeah.
And he was touting John Brown, said Henry Ruggs dropped in his rankings because John Brown signed there. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why your podcast is trash, bro. Trash. You want me to call it out? I'll call it out right now. No, I'm not going to do
that. Was it like a smaller one? Give me a hint.
Slightly bigger.
Oh, okay.
Not large, not super large, but it's known.
Interesting.
And I made it very well known that I disliked that take.
Debo Samuel in the 9th round, I like. So overall, I think I didn't go crazy on this. My biggest thing is like I took Jalen Hurts super late. I waited on quarterback until the 10th round, and I got Jalen Hurts.
It's one quarterback league though, right? As long as you get at least your QB1, worry about the rest later, right?
That's how I got Jalen Hurts, and super late I got Trey Lance.
Yeah,
again, another high upside. So I had no issues. I had no issues doing that. All right,
Daddy hacks.
Let's do Daddy hacks.
Or we could cut over. You want to just go to a further? No. I'm not sure we could get to every single team.
No, we're good. We're good. We only have a few teams left. We're good.
All right. So the first 4 picks I like: Alvin Kamara, Calvin Ridley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Amari Cooper.
No problems there.
Right. No issues there. Like Amari Cooper's a little bit banged up right now, but don't worry about it. It's not what the name of the game. We're drafting, like you said, for the season, right?
Yeah.
Came back, took his first tight end in round 5, Mark Andrews. No issues there, but which he did take by the looks of Andrews. Did Hawkinson go before Andrews?
Andrews went.
No, Andrews went. You see, I like Hawkinson. I would have rather had Hawkinson over Andrews. And then I have no issues with his receivers that came out. He went Devonta Smith probably a little bit earlier than I would have thought. I mean, like you said, you got Higgins after him. I would have liked Sutton there. I would have liked Claypool over Devonta Smith right now. I'm not too sure I would draft a rookie wide receiver that high when you got other guys, I think, that are up there.
Yeah, you don't need. It's nice to get the upside early, but when you already have Cooper and Ridley, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd type players, and I think those guys went after Devonta Smith. I think I'd rather have those T. Higgins.
Well, the biggest ones out of there, I would have definitely had Sutton or Claypool, one of those two, ahead of Devonta Smith up there for sure.
Yeah, I think Devonta Smith should have went around later.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. Brandon Ayuk was drafted right before Devonta Smith. I would have really liked to see this team get Brandon Ayuk, but it is what it is.
And then further down the list there, he waited a little bit longer for his quarterback, took Tom Brady. And then he just kind of went pretty much RB2s the rest of the way.
Yeah. I mean, again, he did get Chuba Hubbard. Chuba.
I do like the Amon St. Brown pick in the 14th, though. There's a lot of hype behind him right now. So
there is. All right, cool. And then noted Tom Brady in the 8th round, which that's about where he should go. And this, as far as this draft goes, the QBs were drying up pretty quick by that time in the 8th round. All right, the mock draft 5 mock drafter. When you guys are doing these mock drafts, make sure you change your name so we can give you some props. Mock drafter 5, though. He didn't change his name. Nick Chubb, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, Dak Prescott in the 4th, TJ Hawkinson in the 5th. No issues with that. I start having issues. It's a good value for Damian Harris.
We're on the same. I think we're pretty much on the same page with things. Yeah. Because are you saying you like that Harris pick there?
That's when it starts getting dicey. I think it's decent value for Damian Harris. Yeah, I do. But I mean, at this point, he waited so long for his RB2. He had no other choice. I mean, he's looking at Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, those are the guys that went after him. Javonte Williams, Michael Carter. Yeah, David Johnson.
He has no choice. So I think he grabbed it when he could. He probably waited a round too late. Mm-hmm. He could have gotten Mike Davis a little earlier. So I probably would have pulled the trigger on his RB2. He waited, but hey, that's some. If let's look down and see if he has any good upside running backs. He has Tony Pollard, Trey Sermon, and that's it for his running back. So
he's definitely a little bit weaker there, but something happens to Mostert, Sermon steps right into that role, right? So I mean same
thing with Tony Pollard and Zeke. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to go that thin on running backs, you need to stack up. In the 10th, 11th, 12th round, you need to stack up on serious upside guys. Javian Hawkins, Chuba, Alexander Mattinson, those guys.
He could. The guys that went after him was Kenyon Drake,
Mhm.
and then I mean James Conner, Gus Edwards, Singletary, Dylan and Moss went just before him. After Sermon, sorry, that's who we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would sooner had like Zach Moss's.
Sure.
But even Drake, I think Drake's going to be more valuable than people actually realize this year.
Mhm.
And then
Maybe.
he did go and scoop Deshaun Watson in the 10th. And then outside of that, really, he got Robert Tonyan pretty late in the 13th round. So that was a very, very good value pick. I mean, to get him way down there, he didn't have to sacrifice really much elite talent, above them reaching for a tight end. So
Right. If I was to rearrange all his stuff, because he got Dak Prescott really early, he got TJ Hawkinson really early. If he could take back those picks, and if he knew he can get Robert Tonyan so late, I would have gotten, CD Lamb instead of Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
And then I would have gotten somebody like, I don't know,
well, you just look down to where the quarterback,
exactly.
quarterbacks went and stuff like that, right?
Right, exactly. So if I could rearrange his draft a little bit, I think he could have done a little bit better without waiting for a running back. I keep saying he or she. You guys know what I mean. All right, let's move over to Matt. Matt did pretty well last mock draft, but he's a loser this round because he picked Miles Sanders in the 3rd round. Don't like it, bro.
No, I'm not high on Sanders at all. Just I'll give you guys another little tidbit here. If you guys want to listen to my other podcast, Fantasy Football from Up North, we just did a bust episode yesterday. That's up on Apple right now. We just discussed how we feel as though Sanders is going to be a bust this year, ADP wise, not technically as
sure. But in the 3rd round, I'd 100 times would prefer. I'll tell you the guys who was drafted after Miles Sanders: Chris Carson, Kyle Pitts, Allen Robinson, Myles Gaskin, CD Lamb. Well, he got CD Lamb. So those guys, Myles Gaskin, I'd rather have those 5 players over Miles Sanders.
For sure.
It's not even close. So
yeah.
Anyways, so Matt, you won big last time, but you lost. You did get Brandon Ayuk in the 6th, which I love. Kyler Murray, he grabbed in the 5th round. I think that was good value.
Yep.
Javonte Williams in the 7th. James Conner and Kenyon Drake in the 9th to 10th. So Jamal Williams is usually one of those picks that always raise eyebrows no matter where you get him, because it seems like he's a value in the late rounds. In the 12th round, Jamal Williams, I think, is a nice upside play.
He's going to be I don't know. Same thing. I think Williams is going to take a lot of carries away from Swift this year. So
yeah. So he made up for Miles Sanders because I think there's like 3 running backs are going to start over Miles Sanders by week 3. So,
and you look down the rest of his roster here. He got Marvin Jones in the 13th, upside Higbee there. Yeah, he took Wentz and then Paris Campbell in the 16th. If he stays healthy, we've yet to see him perform the way that we think that we've heard that he can. That's going to be interesting. Now that he has Wentz tossing him the ball, so that could be a steal way down there.
Yep. So he knows what he's doing. He's a good drafter. He just fucked up with Miles Sanders. All right, mock drafter 7. Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, 1, 2, 3. Not crazy about Josh Jacobs. He waited pretty late for his wide receivers and ended up with Adam Thielen, Odell Beckham, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Cole Beasley. That's rough. That's going to be rough. And half PPR. I'm not loving his team. You got Gronk in the 8th. So that's that. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think he reached. I mean, he took a defense kicker in rounds. Sorry, what rounds are those? Those are
defense. The last round.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at this on my phone. That's why.
In that 16th round. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's move over to.
No, he took a defense kicker in the 9th and 10th.
Yeah. You're right. All right, go into Riley's team. This is your son, so you're going to say how awesome he is because you do this every single week. Did well, Saquon, Eckler, DeAndre Swift. So he went 3 running backs in a row.
How do you not like those? The first 7 picks are
we
dynamite.
Get it. You love your son.
Although he's a little high on Joe Burrow right now. A kid just he has a man crush on Burrow, I think. Every draft he's in, he's got him.
So he went 3 running backs to start and then freaked out and went 4 wide receivers, which I'm not mad at. Chris Godwin, Kenny Golladay, Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy. The Jamar Chase and Jerry Jeudy picks, I think are high upside picks. Kenny Golladay scares me a little bit, but for the strong running back start that he got, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but if you look at the rest of you're talking about going high upside guys. If you look after that, he went for receivers. He went Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Reagor in the what round? 14th round is going to be, so that could be, if you're drafting him in the 4th round, your guys are going to get at least wide receiver 2 numbers out of a guy that's getting drafted so late.
Yep, and then Kadarius Toney in the 15th. Yeah. So he did exactly what I said in the beginning of the episode. Draft those high upside guys in the mid rounds. Good job to Riley, but he didn't do as good job as his dad says he did. So
no,
it's fine.
Dale, he's doing this video, man. Got to pump his tires a little bit.
You can't always say how awesome he is.
20 years, man. It's worked out. Okay, it's worked out. Don't fuck with my parenting now, Dale. Okay.
I just ruined him. You spent 20 years trying to do this, and I just ruined him. And
wait, man, he's like doing jujitsu now. I'm fucking terrified of the kid.
All right, so Riley, he did a good job, man. Thank you.
What do you call it? Your kid? I could be getting abused by my kid behind the scenes.
Yeah,
because I'm so scared of
him. Let's look at mock draft 9. I love you coughing right into the microphone, by the way.
Sorry, I meant to mute it. I've been muting it all. Yeah, my bad. It's not COVID, guys. I'm vaccinated, allergies, and the fact I'm stuck in this closet here and it's humid as fuck in here. And so it's my bad.
Closet. Let's look at mock draft 9. Start off Devontae Adams, Antonio Gibson, Chris Carson. Love it. Love the start. Julio Jones in the 4th. Still love it. Russell Wilson in the 5th. I'll take it. Deontay Johnson in the 6th. Went high upside with Michael Carter in the 7th. I think he did a pretty good job.
That was really good.
Went a little tight end heavy. He went like 4 tight ends, but I guess there's 18 rounds, but that's fine. I think mock draft 9 did a pretty good job overall. Not crazy about his wide receiver 2, and he didn't draft a lot of upside with wide receivers late. No. He got Corey Davis and Christian Kirk. So if you're going to go, running back heavy, you got to go a lot of high upside like Riley did. I'm not keen on how many teams. I'm really hoping it happened with these guys than it did with me, because exactly the same thing happened. So I'm going to basically say there's no need to draft a defense and a kicker in the early rounds. Like those should always be your bottom 2 picks, in my opinion. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I did it. What happened with mine was I, for some reason, got kicked out of the app.
Oh, the excuses start. That's why you want to.
Well, it's probably my phone. It's probably my phone. My phone's a piece of shit too. Yeah. But anyways, so what happened was by the time I logged back in,
you were auto picked,
right? And I'm like, I would never in a million years pick a defense that high. Okay. And then you look at the rest of my team. My team is a trash team.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
So the 10th spot, the guy mocking in the 10th got Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert in that order. Really struggling with the running backs here. His RB2 is Mostert, RB3 is David Johnson.
Yeah.
And then he got Rashad Penny after that. So again, you're going to go heavy other positions, rounds 1 through 3 or 1 through 4. You got to start taking upside no matter what. Like you got to forfeit some of your later picks instead of getting guys like T.Y. Hilton. You got to go for the upside with whatever you're unbalanced at. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's move over to Austin. $100. I'm looking at his team. $100. He drafted Jarvis Landry, and he did. He drafted Jarvis Landry in the 7th.
Loves him, eh?
He does. So Austin got Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts, James Robinson, Mike Davis, Travis Etienne. Like it. I like it. His second wide receiver, though, is Jarvis Landry. He must really like him to really put that much stock in his wide receiver, too. I would have liked to see Austin go a little bit more upside with his wide receiver. Oh, never mind. He did.
Way down below, yeah.
Yeah, McCall Hardman, Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore. He got Darius Slayton, Denzel Mims. So that's some upside there, I guess.
Yeah.
So he is weak. He started off weak at wide receiver, but he got some high upside. James Robinson, Mike Davis, and Travis Etienne. Weird combination to get between rounds 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Just because they're all kind of fringe RB2 guys. And, two of the guys play on the same team. Etienne,
exactly.
So good luck with that. Hopefully they just play totally different roles and they both eat. We'll see. All right, let's finish it off with Clayton's team. It's perfect. Clayton is his team's a giant pile of shit.
I've always waited. This is the one thing I've always done. I've always went. I don't know why, but especially when I'm on the turn, I've always went back to back RBs. I've never really tried. Yeah, so I mean, I'm
probably gonna reach for Najee Harris.
Yeah,
and you got him in the end of the first.
Yeah,
so
Najee Harris, Aaron Jones. And then I went A-Rob, Mike Evans. I didn't really want Evans there, but I would have sooner I think I took him over guys like
Etienne, Harris, Gordon, Fournette, Javonte Williams.
Yeah. So I mean, so whatever. I mean, he's going to be a touchdown monster hopefully again. And then I went for my RB3, took Chase Edmonds. I like the upside with him as far as we know. He's their number 1. And then Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks I went. So before I selected my tight end, which was Noah Fant. So
yeah. I don't mind your draft. Chase Edmonds. I think I'd rather have Etienne or Damian Harris over Edmonds. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not. Mike Davis got sniped right before Edmonds. I like Mike Davis 100.
Yeah, Mike Davis was the guy I wanted at that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to back. I mean, you were one pick from getting them in that. I think your team would have been much better. But Robinson, Evans, Cooper Kupp is a good starting wide receiver. Core. Brandon Cooks, take him or leave him. And then you got Tannehill really late in the 9th round. That was great. And you got guys Elijah Mitchell, Nico Collins. Philip Lindsay. Not enough people are talking about Philip Lindsay.
No, I love Lindsay here, and that's why I got him way down where I did. I was like, I'll take him, and then took the tight end for Tennessee, Firkser, and there's a lot of hype around him right now because of the fact I took a defense kicker way up there, auto picked. I will say that again, but to get a starting tight end way down there, a guy that has top 12 potential. I like that, and definitely like the Lindsay pick because we've seen what he can do, and the fact that he's on an offense right now that's going to be pretty much in shambles. People say that it's a huge quarterback room with you got David Johnson, you got Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, and then Rex Burkhead all back there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the youngest guy, and I think he's the one that's going to eat in this offense.
Yeah, and you know what? It's worth the risk in the 15th round.
Yep.
Guys around him, Rashad Penny, James White, Damian Williams, Marlon Mack, Tariq Cohen. All those guys, I'd much rather have Philip Lindsay. Yeah. You're getting him so late. Why not? You're not going to have a high upside in Rashad Penny. I'm sorry. There's no upside there. Even if he ends up starting, we know who he is. Right. Yeah. Same thing with Damian Williams and Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack has to go through so much bullshit to be relevant again.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was fun.
So what we're saying here is I pretty much won that mock draft.
Yeah, right.
Dale was a far 7th place finish.
That's I don't think so. I think I killed it this time. I was on a mission. Next episode we're going to talk about you really have to next episode you're going to get your pen and paper out because we're going to talk about guys that are going to fail or beat their ADP. So you're going to write down a list of guys that we talk about and then so when you're drafting and you see these guys come, don't be so struggled by strong held by their ADPs. You can get them a little bit earlier, and don't worry about your league mates bothering you. All right, guys. Again, if you need to reach us at Eat Sleep FF, Clayton is at Canadian Clay FF. You can go to our website, eatsleepfantasy.com. I will put all the details for the best ball league in the podcast notes here, so make sure you check it out, copy and paste it into your browser, and sign up. I think we only have like 100 or so people signed up right now. We have 5 jerseys.
We're going to make a big push here. It's going to get filled up. I'm almost certain of that. So,
all right. Well, guys, it was fun. Thanks again for joining us. I love you, Clayton. Bye.
I love you too, Dale.
Dream and eat nation, we doing what we like. Tune in every week, guarantee we get it hype. Fantasy, football enthusiasts, I know you plan to be joining us on Eat Sleep Fantasy.